Aging is often portrayed as a slow, graceful decline, a gentle fading of youth and vitality. But biologically, it's more of a battle, a persistent tug-of-war between repair and damage, regeneration and decay. And one of the most insidious forces tilting that balance is a phenomenon called inflammaging, a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation that quietly escalates with age, even in the absence of infection or acute disease. It's not the fire of a raging illness, but the constant smoldering of immune overactivity, cellular debris, oxidative stress, and environmental irritants. And here's the uncomfortable twist. Some of the very nutrients we take to fight aging may, in excess, be fanning that flame. Inflammaging is a major contributor to virtually every chronic age-related disease: atherosclerosis, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, sarcopenia, and even certain cancers. Unlike acute inflammation, which helps the body heal from wounds or fight infections, inflammaging is persistent, diffuse, and destructive. It wears down tissues, distorts immune responses, and accelerates cellular senescence, the biological clock that tells cells when to stop dividing and start decaying. So, naturally, many people reach for antioxidants, B vitamins, omega-3s, and polyphenol-rich supplements, hoping to reverse or slow this process. And in some cases, these interventions do help. But context matters. Nutrients aren't inert. At high doses, or when taken in isolation, they can act less like protective agents and more like metabolic stressors, especially in aging bodies that process and detoxify nutrients less efficiently. Take niacin, vitamin B3. At modest levels, it supports mitochondrial health and DNA repair, two critical pillars of longevity. But at high doses, it produces toxic metabolites like 4-PY, which impair PRP, 1 activity, increase VCM, 1 expression, and damage endothelial cells, exactly the kind of cellular dysfunction that inflammaging thrives on. So in trying to extend lifespan, we may be unknowingly accelerating vascular inflammation, a key mechanism in heart disease and cognitive decline. Folic acid, widely added to grains and supplements, is another double-edged sword. While critical for DNA synthesis and neural development, excess folic acid that remains unmetabolized can accumulate in the bloodstream, particularly in older adults with slower enzymatic activity. This buildup has been linked to immune dysregulation, altered methylation patterns, and even cancer-promoting effects in some contexts. Again, a nutrient meant to shield against aging can turn rogue if the dose and context aren't right. Then there's the issue of cumulative exposure. Older adults are particularly vulnerable to nutrient overload because they are often encouraged to take multivitamins, fortified foods, and targeted anti-aging supplements simultaneously. Over time, this layering effect creates a background of metabolic congestion, where the liver, kidneys, and immune system are burdened with detoxifying not just environmental toxins, but a surplus of well-intentioned micronutrients. And unlike youthful bodies, which can quickly neutralize or excrete excess, the aging body has diminished metabolic flexibility. The same vitamin that glides through a 25-year-old system may linger and misfire in a 70-year-old. The result? Instead of calming inflammation, it may provoke it, subtly but persistently, helping to sustain the very inflammaging it was meant to quiet. Even antioxidants like vitamin E or C, when taken in high doses, can shift from antioxidant to prooxidant behavior, generating free radicals rather than neutralizing them. These molecules then trigger NF-B activation and the release of cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, both key players in inflammaging. In trying to douse the fire, we end up tossing on lighter fluid. This doesn't mean nutrition isn't a powerful tool against aging. It absolutely is. But the modern obsession with more is better, more supplements, more fortification, more longevity nutrients, misses a crucial truth. Biology operates on balance, not abundance. The healthiest centenarians around the world aren't living longer because they're drowning in B-complex tablets and resveratrol gummies. They're thriving because they eat real, unprocessed foods, move regularly, sleep deeply, and maintain nutritional sufficiency without overload. Inflammaging teaches us that aging isn't just about wear and tear. It's about how the immune system, metabolism, and repair mechanisms interact over time. And when those systems are flooded with excess inputs, even good ones, they can falter, triggering a cascade of subtle, chronic damage. So perhaps the real longevity secret isn't buried in the next designer supplement, but in restraint. In doing less, but more wisely. In respecting the body's thresholds, honoring its limits, and understanding that the right dose of a nutrient is often not the most, but the just enough. In the age of inflammaging, health isn't found in the flood, it's found in the flow.